What's going on, everybody? So today I'm going to talk about something that has been asked so much in the group chat, and that is, should you buy a salvage title car? I just want to talk about the pros, the cons, and what you really should know before you risk investing in a car that's salvage title that you may not be able to get rid of or even insure. So come inside with me and I will show you guys exactly what I'm talking about inside. So we are back inside. I just got this question asked a lot in the group chat, in the Discord group, about the pros and the cons with buying a salvage title car. So I just want to acknowledge this and take the time to make a video to maybe help you guys better understand, is buying a salvage car a good idea or a bad idea? There's a lot of confusion with this. There's a lot of controversy. I'm just going to get down to it, and let's start with the negatives. So for example, your audience, whenever you buy a salvage title car, almost always your audience will be more scared. Definitely they're going to want to prefer a clear title, but there's many reasons that I'll talk about in a minute about why they're going to be scared. But number one and foremost, when you buy a car, you always want to be in the position to be able to get rid of it quickly, in my opinion, so that you're never tied to it and stuck with it. And whenever you buy a salvage title car, you're really, really limiting your audience because they are so scared. So that is number one. Your audience is going to be much smaller. So make sure you're careful and you really think about that, because that does matter down the road whenever you go and try and sell the car. Because once a car is salvaged, it stays salvaged. So take that into consideration and really think about that. All right, number two, it becomes much harder to insure these cars with insurance companies. I knew this, but I really experienced this today whenever I was trying to sell a vehicle that I have that is actually salvaged. Here's the title to it, actually. And I've had two people say, hey, will you send me the VIN number? I want to see if my insurance company will even cover this car. And I really overlooked this step when having a salvage title car. Yes, I still think I'll be completely fine, but it is another factor that people have to go through and struggle with even getting accepted to be insured on a salvage title car. So you really need to take this into consideration, and it definitely can make it more difficult to resell. So that's the second factor. That's the second negative. It's actually a pretty big deal. So make sure that the accident, make sure you do a Carfax on it and understand what damage has been done and how bad it's been wrecked, because some insurance companies actually won't give you full coverage on a salvage title vehicle. So you need to understand this and understand that your audience, whenever you go to sell it in the future, may not be able to actually register it with their insurance company. It may not be the same one as yours, and maybe yours accepted it. So you have to understand this. Very, very important to know. But that's number two. Number three is a big one, and it is the hassle of having to deal with the next buyer. For example, we had a car here that my roommate had, and it was very, very hard to sell. And it was a Ford Mustang, very, very hard to sell. It was a weird situation, but a lot of people are scared of it. Just like the vehicle that I currently have, people were scared of it today. I went and showed it, but I expected that. I understood that the margin of profit was great enough, and that I'll still be able to profit from it. But I also knew that I was probably going to have to deal with buyers that were going to try and negotiate harder based off it being salvaged, look it over even harder, and really be more skeptical when driving it. Even the slightest shake in the steering wheel, they're going to automatically correlate that to the car being salvaged. Oh my gosh, it's got frame damage, or it's pulling to the right. Maybe it's not, it's got frame damage, it's not lined out correctly, or they didn't, completely fix the whole car whenever it was considered salvage. So be very careful with this. This can be a nightmare, is just dealing with the next person, and they are going to hassle you so hard. Maybe you'll get lucky, but expect a challenge, expect a difficult negotiator to come up to you and really hassle you about it. But it is something that I really cannot stress enough. But just make sure that you're getting the deal for so cheap that it makes up for all that extra work that you're going to have to do whenever you have a salvage car as opposed to a clear title car. So I'm done with the negatives. That's really it. There are a couple pros. They're kind of obvious, but I think we should talk about them, and really just so you understand what the pros actually are with buying a salvage title car. Why we would even consider buying one in the first place over a clear title. So the first one, as you may know, is they are cheap. Clearly, that's an obvious thing. You can almost get them for half the price of a clean title one. But depending on what you're buying, it may not matter as much as it would on a different vehicle. So, for example, here's a salvage title that I have in my name. In Arkansas, the title is blue around the edges. When it is salvaged, it is actually red. So definitely stands out a lot more. It's very easy to tell, it's very easy to tell if it's salvaged or clear on here. On an Arizona title, it's just in fine print right here, and it says restore/salvage. So it's a little more difficult to tell. It's easier to overlook in a sense. Clearly, you should be able to see that on both of them. It's kind of ridiculous if you miss it, but it's very easy to depict that. But for example, I bought this Toyota Tacoma for $5,300. They usually go for around, well, for example, this guy comes up and he looks at the car. He didn't notice that I said it was a salvage title in the description, and he was like, "Oh man, like you have it listed at $8,900, and clean title one with 88,000 miles is going anywhere from $11,000 to $12,000 to $13,000 with this body style." And they definitely don't look like they should be going for that much, but they just have such a good reputation, and they were. So I was able to get this car for less than half the price of what it should be selling for if it was a clear title. But I also knew that this thing is going to be used for work. It's a utility vehicle. It's known to be reliable. It's not known for the looks. It's strictly for convenience and accessibility. So I bought this car for $5,300, and I could potentially make $3,000. But I did take the time to really think about how hard would this be to sell. So I understood that it may not sell quickly. Right now I haven't sold it yet, but it's only been listed for I think 2.5 days, 3 days. So it's nothing bad, but you have to understand that and expect that. But anyways, so that is a big pro that you can get cars for half or even less than half the price of a clean title one. And if you're going to buy it just for yourself and you're not really expecting to sell it for a profit and you just need a vehicle, then maybe that would be the right way to go for you. Let's move on to the last pro, and that is if you know a mechanic, you can really capitalize on buying a salvage title car. Especially if you're going to buy it for yourself and you're not planning on reselling it for a profit down in the future, or maybe even just want to drive it for free. If you have someone to minimize costs so they can save you money on your whole investment, then that is a guaranteed win. So if, say, the dealer charges $3,500 to fix this car or $5,000 to fix all the damage, their labor is probably going to be $100 an hour. If you have a buddy that can get it done for $30 to $40 an hour, and you only have to pay $1,500 to $2,000, then you're going to be in the investment with a lot less money, and you'll be able to either sell it for a profit or break even. So those are the two main points on the pros. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about this. This has been asked a couple times in the group chat. I just wanted to answer it. I definitely know that salvage title cars are typically not the way to go, but understanding these couple things, that'll really help you understand if you should be buying one or the deal you're looking at is a good deal even though it is still salvage. So I hope you guys took some notes and enjoyed this video. Post in the comments if you have any questions, concerns, or comments about the video. If you guys want to learn what we do on a daily basis, of course, as always, click the first link below. You can schedule a free call with me today, tomorrow, whenever it is. And it's 100% for free. Just click that first link below. If you want to follow me on Instagram, click the second link below. And I'd love to keep in touch with you guys. But as always, keep flipping. I will see you guys in the next video.